What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Truth coming back at you. I wanted to talk about building foundations when you're chasing your dreams, right? So, um, before we get started, if you could do me a favor, if you like what I'm talking about, if you could hit the like button, comment, subscribe, that would greatly help to grow the channel, reach more people. But what I wanted to talk about today is just building a foundation, right, while you chase your dreams. All too often in America, uh, I don't know if it's just America, but I can only speak to about from the American perspective. We're taught that we should chase our dreams, and just throw caution to the wind and chase your dreams. And I just feel like that's a recipe for disaster. I think you should have a good foundation. I think that, especially when you have responsibilities, right? You have a family, you have bills, you have people depending on you. You have a life that you have to sustain. Jumping out the window to chase your dreams is, not having any type of uh, emergency net, right? Is asinine. It's crazy. Because life is not forgiving, right? And I think that's one of the biggest things I learned as I grew up was life is not forgiving. I think so many people assume that you can make mistakes and bounce back from them. Some mistakes you can't bounce back from. Some things, once you start making those particular decisions, it's hard to come back from, right? Um, and it's not anybody else's responsibility to see you successful, right? It's your own responsibility, and it's just your own responsibility to take care of yourself. It's nobody else's responsibility to help you achieve your dreams, if that makes sense, right? All too often, we get mad at people who are like, "Oh, no one's helping me. No one's helping me be successful." Who told you that somebody was supposed to help? It's a luxury if they help, right? But you need to assume that chasing your dreams is going to be a solo thing, which means you have to be your financier, you have to be your fall guy, you have to be everything, because it's not guaranteed, number one, that you're going to reach success. And number two, it's not guaranteed that if you fall, anyone's going to catch you. That's not the way the world works, especially as a man. Sometimes you might have a little bit more leeway as a woman, right? You might have a little bit more leeway to pursue dreams because you have someone who's maybe not expecting you to financially provide because you're in that situation. But majority of times, if you're a grown up, you're in this thing by yourself. And I mean, when you're grown up and you attach children to that, then it can even get more difficult, right? To More difficult to almost extreme, right? Because if you have little children that depend on you, um, if you don't have no money coming in, how you gonna feed them, right? If you have you know a car payment, rent or mortgage, real bills that you know, and you don't have a foundation to pursue your dreams, you need to pause. Now, I see all too often, especially when it comes to creating content. Some people jump out there and they just quit the job. Why are you doing that? You can make content in your spare time. If you're working 40 hours, right? And those 40 hours, those particular 40 hours allow you to pay your bills and, take care of your family, right? Like you're able to sustain, it may not be the lifestyle that you want, but um, it it's decent enough to where you can maintain the house, right? Why not make YouTube in your whatever your dream is? I'm just saying YouTube because that's what we're talking about. But whatever that dream is, why not do that in your spare time? I think honestly people are lazy, and everybody wants to be their own boss, but everybody doesn't have the discipline to be their own boss because they don't know what it requires to actually run a business. They don't know what it requires to actually be a manager. They've never been in a management position, and even if they have been in a management position, they're not going to manage themselves as a manager would, and they're not going to respond to that direction like an employee would, right? Everybody want to work for themselves because they have this dream of waking up whenever, doing whatever they want to do and just living this no boundary lifestyle. When in all actuality, to run a business, you're going to work harder than you ever did as an employee. And a lot of people don't have that work ethic to even be, work for themselves or be their own boss, right? A lot of us don't have it. And I mean, we have to have an honest conversation with ourselves and be like, unless I have the discipline, I don't need to be trying to work for myself. I need to work for somebody, you know? And if I can be successful doing this thing part time until this replaces my income, and not just, you had a good month, right? Because you may have a good month. You may have a couple good months. You may string a whole 6 months together, right? But until you are able to put yourself in a position to where you can fund yourself, I would say, for at least a year or two, I wouldn't definitely think about quitting my job, because I mean, you could do this thing part time unless it starts to cut into your money. Like any time you're spending at your job, you're losing more money, right? But to jump out the window and be like, I'm going to work for myself. I don't have any backup plan. I'm just going to jump out there. I think it's a shoddy dream that was sold to people, and I'm not sure where we got that from. I think it sounds good because all too often you have these internet gurus like, I sold everything and I just jumped in there. But that doesn't work for everybody. As a matter of fact, it works for such a small percentage. It's almost like being getting in the NBA and winning the lottery, right? You're only getting to hear the success stories, right? And the success story might be 1 in a million. And I'm not trying to, rain on anyone's parade, but I say, you can pursue your dreams and be cautious, right? You can work on your dream on the side. And, there's so many stories I heard about, authors or anybody, they would work on their stories, like some guy, I believe, I can't remember his exact name, but he would write his books on and to from the subway, right? When his ride home on the subway or on the train, he would write his book. He's writing his book because he had a family, he had work. So the only time he had that was completely free was when on a train ride home. So he took advantage of that time. I think all too often we don't take advantage of that time that we have to make a video or to write or to pursue anything as a dream. You're not working 24/7, right? So let's say you have time on the weekends. Why aren't you taking, getting up a little bit earlier than your family and working on your craft, right? No, we want to sleep in, right? We want to wake up and watch TV for hours. We don't want to take any time away from our relaxation to build our dreams. And I think it's giving, and I hate when I say that, but it's giving me the impression that people want things handed to them and they want things the easy way. But even if you were super dedicated, right? Let's say you're super dedicated. Let's say it was going to pay off. Let's say by your dedication and your commitment and consistency to the craft that eventually paid off. What if it don't pay off for another 2 years? Can you financially hold yourself down for 2 years? Let's say that you were going to ball out in 2 years. What does that have to do with next month? What does that have to do with 6 months from now? What does that have to do when your child can't feed themselves, when your significant other is complaining about the bills and you have $0 to contribute because you ran through whatever money you had saved? You were already living paycheck to paycheck, so it wasn't like you were in the best financial position to do that. Now your credit's taking a hit because if you have credit cards, you're maxing them out and now you can't pay them. So now, credit's messed up. So if you did see any opportunities to, let's say get a business or, buy something that may be income producing, you can't do that now because your credit's shot. And all the while, child still needs to eat. Your child got to eat every day. Your child got to eat good every day, right? The guy that you pay your rent to, the place that you pay your rent to, they don't care that you're pursuing your dream. They want their rent. Let's say if you get an extremely nice person, they gonna let you ride for months on it? Because let's say you had a viral video for 1 month, right? How long is that 1 month gonna last? All right. What if you don't have any more viral videos for a while? What if it takes you a while to build your subscriber base? And like I said, I keep tying this to YouTube because that's what we're on. And I say this because, you could win at this game. There's people out here winning at YouTube, but it took them a while. It took them a while. You can go back to some of your favorite content creators and go back to their very first videos, and and if they were being honest, they weren't making money right from the jump. No one makes money in this game or any game right from the jump. That's just not how this works. You have to put in the time, you have to put in the effort, and you have to be consistent. And one thing about consistency means that it's going to take time. So I would encourage anyone who is pursuing their dreams, is pursuing, any type of extracurricular activity, to build a foundation and work as long as you can. Continue to bring in money as long as you can. Quitting before you're ready is going to put more pressure on you, and it's going to make your life a lot harder for no reason. Because if you're working 40 hours a day, you can put in another 20 into your craft and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Those 20 hours that you find in a week, you'll be fine. You can find those hours if you dedicate themselves. Because we waste so much time after we get off work, and then we're like, well, I need the whole 40 hours to be successful. No, you don't. You don't need the whole 40 hours. You don't need to be out of work for 40 hours. In order to be successful in your craft, you just need to show that discipline that, hey, I can work 60 hours a week because I want to be successful. So I would encourage everyone, to really take a change. They take a look at themselves and make a change about, what it means to pursue your dreams. And if you're one of the people that's not pursuing your dreams, what are you doing with your time, right? If you continue to do the things you've always done, you'll continue to have the things you always had, right? So this video is not just for the people who are pursuing these dreams. This video is for the people who are hesitating on following their dreams. Use the time you have wisely, because time is the most valuable and precious resource, and it's something that we can never get back. The more time you waste not doing a thing, the less time you have to do that thing. And that sounds very simple, but it's the truth. All right. But anyway, I just wanted to drop that, drop some knowledge on that particular topic. If you like what I'm talking about, like I said, if you could hit the like and subscribe, but comment and tell me what you don't like. All of that helps the algorithm out for me. Appreciate it, guys.